So you want to know about Scratch alternatives. Good, because some of these are way better. If you don't know what Scratch is, it's a coding platform for kids that uses blocks like this to code. It's built using Google's Snap, and yeah, so it has some problems. First of all, its moderation is famously horrible. And this, the Scratch membership. Yeah, that's right. A coding platform for kids is now trying to get you to give them money. So, let's have a look at the alternatives. Number 1, Makecode Arcade. If you don't know what Makecode Arcade is, it's built by Microsoft and it's an educational coding platform, much like Scratch. However, there's not really a community around it, making moderation problems impossible. Let's name our project Test. I don't want to take a tour of the editor, so let's just take a look at how this works. Immediately, we're noticing Makecode Arcade is very different from Scratch. The blocks area looks very similar in the background with all the dots, and the blocks are somewhat similar, but what the blocks say is very different. Makecode Arcade is designed especially for making games, so not really animations or music or anything you'd find on Scratch like that. Also, with Makecode Arcade, you can not only code in blocks, but also in JavaScript or Python. And it has its own custom pixel art editor, like this. If you don't want to make pixel art, you can use all of these built-in assets. So, let's try making a game with Makecode Arcade. In the sense that we're testing Scratch alternatives, I'll be using the blocks mode because that's most similar to Scratch. So first what we're going to do, we are going to add in our sprite, and we're going to use Hero Walk Front 1. So let's duplicate that, and that's adding that to our assets category. And if you want to follow along, you can, but that's not the point of this video. So, controller, we're going to do into on start, move my sprite with buttons. But wait, we have a problem here. Variable my sprite is never assigned. Well, what does that mean? If you ever have an error that you don't understand, there's this fancy explain with AI button right here. Apparently you have to sign in to use it, so I won't be using that right now. But what we need to do to solve this error is we need to go into the sprites tab and drag out set my sprite to sprite of kind player. Let's swap out this with our player sprite, and we can rename my sprite to player. Okay. I'll just call it player 1. Because there's also sprite kind variables. So we can't name that the same as our sprite name. Yeah. Okay. So and then this block is gonna move the player with buttons. So let's test it out. If we use these buttons, or you can just use WASD or arrow keys on your keyboard, our player is moving around. But what is this black background? We need a background. So let's just, and actually, I just realized as we were doing this, you don't need to duplicate your background every time. Let's just go back into blocks and we can do scene. Let's do set tile map. Because if you set a static background, then it won't be able to scroll. So we're going to do a tile map, and we're going to do a pre-built tile map. Let's use this right here, level 1. That looks really nice. Let's see how this runs. Okay, that's good. And you notice that built in with the tile maps, you can't walk through walls. But there's a problem. It's not scrolling. So what we need to do we need to go into, where is it? Hold on. Here it is. Camera follows sprite my sprite. So let's change that to player 1. Now, let's see how this works. Now, if you notice the camera is now I'm going to need to edit that. The camera is now following the player around, making the background scroll. But our player isn't really animated. So, let's add in a player animation. We're going to do on up button pressed. I cannot seem to find these blocks. I use JavaScript usually, so. Here it is. Oh, it's in the animation category, of course. Let's do animate my sprite. We're gonna change that to player 1. And so there's even built-in animation frames. So we did this for facing up, so let's do, or the up button. So let's add in that. And we don't want it to loop. So let's see. Now when he's running up, plays the up animation, but that's really slow. Let's make that 100 milliseconds. Whoop. That's better. Now let's duplicate this a couple times. And you notice it disables those blocks because they're the same as these other ones. Or actually, it's not because they're the same. It's because they all use on up button pressed. It can't do multiple actions with one button. So we're going to change these. And then we're going to go in and change the animations. If I can find them. I don't want a shield. Here, hero walk left. What's this one? I did that for right. Okay, that's not. There we go. And then we're going to do down. We're going to do that as down. We're going to go into left and make that left. Okay. Now, if we look, maybe we do want it to loop. Because that's stopping after one frame. Let's try turning on loop. That works better. Okay. Well, then it does that. Let me figure this out. Okay, well, we don't have time. You get the idea. This is Makecode Arcade. Number 2, Tosh. Tosh is basically the text-based version of Scratch. It literally uses the same exact blocks. When flag clicked, move steps 10. Oh, that's 10. Still not right. I don't know what I'm doing. Move steps. Oh, move 10. Okay, that's how you do it. So now we have that. Let's just make something really basic. Because I spent way too long on that last one. Y by 10. Tosh is really good if you want to learn text-based coding, but you're really familiar with Scratch. And I could have just been doing this whole time. Copy pasting. You can do that with Scratch, but you have to do the whole duplicate thingy. Left, right, X, X. There we go. Now let's see. Okay, that works well enough. You get the idea. This is Tosh. Moving on, next up, we're going to be using Snap. That reminds me, I think I misspoke earlier. It's not Snap that Scratch runs on, it's Blockly, Google Blockly. That's what it is. Okay, sorry about that. Snap, if you know Scratch 1.4, this looks a lot like it, except the stage is on the right. Oh yeah, I was messing around with this earlier. Just reload the page. Okay, there we go. So, Snap is basically an advanced version of early Scratch, like Scratch 1.4. There's some extra blocks in here, like atan 2 and cut and paste, and URL, microphone, and video things. I think those are in Scratch, but well, I guess those are in I don't know. Okay. Um, let's make the same thing we did in Tosh because that arrow looks really similar. Speed run this. Let's see how fast it takes me to make this. How long it takes me to make this. Words are hard. Okay, done with that now. Should work. Should. Is that moving? That doesn't seem to be moving. Hold on. Oh, it is. I had to click this. Oh, that's the problem. Okay, so I need to change that to right arrow. Okay, let's test this out. That's good. And I'm noticing, so something cool I noticed here. I don't know if this is in Scratch, but it's cool. You can duplicate one block. I think that's in Scratch. I don't know. And then I'm noticing the make a block is in motion. That's not normal. That's not in Scratch. But this is strange. You can make a block of any type. I don't know if that's just color. Well, I'm guessing that is just color. But that's cool. Not gonna mess around with that right now because we don't have a bunch of time. But yeah, this is Snap. Moving on. Next, we'll be using pictoblox. So pictoblox is it's got a lot of options. Junior blocks, which looks like Scratch Junior, blocks, which looks like Scratch, a Python editor, and a Python notebook. In the spirit of Scratch, we'll be using blocks. Also, I'm noticing machine learning and 3D and XR. This could be a future video. But let's just look at blocks. Okay, this looks exactly like Scratch, just purple. Well, I guess Scratch is purple at the top, but this is a different shade of purple. And it's a bear named Toby. Shout out Toby the bear. Okay. And I'm noticing this Python button. Looks like you can switch between blocks in Python. Is this like Makecode? If I add something in blocks, does it carry over? It does not. Okay, so you have to pick one or the other. And then you can also do upload firmware if you want to connect like some kind of microcontroller, breadboard, circuit board, whatever, to upload your code, like I guess a Raspberry Pi. So let's try to make something. What should we make? Let's not do the same thing we've been making. let's make, what should we make? Let's make a clicker game so we can show off the variables. Oh, that's cool. So you can do a variable or string, number or string variable. That's cool. So let's do clicks. Yeah, this is just like Scratch, but with some added features. This reminds me of like Turbo Warp or Penguin mod. It's just a Scratch mod. Yeah, so let's do when this sprite clicked, change clicks by 1. Okay, yeah, there you have it. Basic clicker game, but let's do an animation. What if we make him walk when you? No, that doesn't look good. Duplicate, or we don't need to do that. Let's just do change size by 10. Change size by I like that snap sound. You hear that when you snap the blocks? A snap? Maybe this should be called snap. I guess it's more of a pop than a snap. That's not good. Do 0.1. They can't click that fast, can they? Let's do a when green flag clicks, set size to 100. Set clicks to 0. There we go. That's better. I guess if somebody goes in with like an auto clicker, maybe they can like click it fast enough to cheat the system and make him start. Oh, well, I guess I can too. Oh, yeah. That's one of the annoying things about the Scratch editor too. I wish, oh well, I guess it's not currently running, but like when the project's running, you don't have to go into full screen to not be able to move. Oh, that's cool. You can do recording. That's cool. Yeah, so this, well, first let me mention, why is it an AI extension? I guess there was the machine learning thing from earlier. And let's take a look at the sprites library. So it looks like a lot of these things are from Scratch. I don't know, what's Scratch licensed under? MIT probably? I mean, it's like sponsored by MIT or owned by MIT, whatever. But it looks like there are some original sprites in here, like Toby. Shout out Toby. Let's look at the backdrops. The backdrops are almost all from Scratch, but there are some other ones. Okay. I'm noticing these. I guess these are some of the like circuit boards and robot firmware you can plug in. Okay. This is pictoblox. Next up on the list, we have Hopscotch. So Hopscotch is basically, this looks like a really little kid's thing. Immediately I'm noticing a lot of the characters you have to use Pro for, which if you remember, Scratch membership was one of the worst parts about Scratch, so this seems even worse if you click on it. It's $9.99 a month just to get a couple animated drawings. And then there's another one with no ads. This thing has ads? Well, I have an ad blocker, so don't need to pay for that. Let's just try to make something with this tree. So once we go into here, this is starting to seem more familiar, kind of like Scratch. Not exactly, a little bit different. If you try to drag from here, it doesn't work. You have to drag from these dots, and it's snapping like into lines, like text code, kind of like in Makecode Arcade. If you wanted to use JavaScript, you can drag it out and snap it like that. Yeah, if you do notice here, that's 310 lines we did in Makecode Arcade, mostly from the animations. So with this, can we make that same thing that we made in Tosh? Let's see. We don't want it to be game starts. Even the blocks you have to pay for. Okay. Let's just use the non-pay for blocks. Here's a benefit. You can do like device tilt and shaking controls. That's kind of cool. I'm on a Mac, not a phone, so I can't really use that, or an iPad. I guess this is designed for like kids to use on iPads. This is definitely the most younger kid one we've used. Like this is like preschool level. Oh, I can't do keys. Ooh, when self is swiped right, I guess. Change X by, yeah, let's do 100. Okay, I don't like that. Add event, swipe left, self, swipe left, change X by. Okay, so we're having a major problem. So I had to do a cut there, and I recorded the rest of, well, a lot of the rest of the video. My microphone wasn't working. So I come back to get back to where I was, and now Hopscotch isn't responding to, well, it's responding, but I can't edit my tree that I worked so hard on placing. Like, how does this work? Oh, I forgot. You can use this, but can't publish your project because you gotta pay for the membership. So, Hopscotch, which is supposed to be an app made for kids, just broke as I was using it. I tried reloading the page, deleting the draft, starting a new one. None of it. So that is Hopscotch, a kids platform that's trying to get you to pay for a $9.99 a month subscription. And I do have to give them the credit. The lifetime one is cheaper than the Scratch membership, I'm pretty sure. I think the Scratch membership one was like $150. What was it? Was it $150? I don't know. Or was it $100? I don't know. But so Hopscotch is terrible. That is this is Hopscotch. So that's it. That's 5 Scratch alternatives. Some of them I'd call alternatives, some of them I'd call terrible excuses for alternatives. Time to rank them. So I think we all know number 5, Hopscotch. Monstrosity, terrible excuse for a kid's coding platform. Pictoblox, next up. Why am I saying next up? Number 4 is gonna be Snap. Don't get me wrong, Snap was good, but it's not that different from Scratch 1.4. Like, come on. I mean, there's a couple added blocks, but it's not that good. Number 3, we have Tosh. So Tosh, I was gonna put Pictoblox at number 3, but Pictoblox has those other things we didn't even look at, like the machine learning and that stuff. So Tosh goes to number 3. I love how Tosh is like Scratch, but text-based. So Pictoblox is going to number 2. And that leaves us with our grand champion, Makecode Arcade. I love Makecode Arcade. You can make like a really good, legit game in Makecode Arcade. And you can use blocks if you want, or like me, you can use JavaScript or Python. And the asset editor is amazing. These guys didn't sponsor the video, by the way. And it's made by Microsoft, so there's loads of cool things you can do with it. You can literally make an arcade cabinet and with a Raspberry Pi load your Makecode Arcade games on it. And also you can, where is it? There's a way you can literally add your Makecode Arcade games to your Xbox with the Xbox Kiosk app on Xbox. Crazy. That's crazy. And let me show you the arcade kiosk. Yeah, it's really cool. You can do a wood one with a Windows laptop. You can do a small cardboard one, or you can do a like wood one with a Raspberry Pi. This one is really cool. That would be the hardest to make, but that's really cool. Maybe, I don't know, in the far future, this could be a video idea. Maybe if you hit that subscribe button down below, maybe. Let's make this a goal. Maybe in the future we can make a Makecode arcade cabinet. And special thanks to the article, its name has slipped my mind, where I found Snap, Pictoblox, and the terrible Hopscotch. Yeah, special thanks to that article. I'll leave the link in the description. And biggest shout out, we gotta give a shout out to Jesus. He is the Savior. Jesus Christ, let's go. That's it for today's video. See you next time, and God bless you.